Social and behavior change is often called SBC. It is a thoughtful way to help people. It supports them in making positive changes in their lives. These changes can be about their health. They might be about learning new skills, or they could be about living safely and well. SBC carefully looks at why people do the things they do. Then it helps them to choose actions that lead to better outcomes for themselves and their communities. SBC is much more than just giving people information. It understands that simply knowing facts does not always change actions. People are wonderfully complex. Many different things shape how we behave every day. SBC tries to understand all of these influencing factors. It considers personal feelings, individual thoughts, and deep-seated beliefs. It also looks at what our friends, family, and neighbors do, and very importantly, it considers the spoken and unspoken rules of our society. The ultimate goal of SBC is to create change that truly lasts. This means helping new positive behaviors stick around for a long, long time. It is not interested in quick fixes that fade away. Instead, it aims for new habits that improve life for good. This kind of lasting change brings benefits to individuals. It helps families become healthier and more resilient. It also helps whole communities grow stronger and more vibrant. Real lasting change is the true measure of success for SBC efforts. SBC also pays close attention to the world around people. It asks important questions about the environment. Are there good quality services available and easy to access? Is it simple for people to make the healthy or positive choice? Are there significant things that make it hard for people to change their ways? SBC works hard to make the surrounding environment supportive of new behaviors. This means making it easier for people to act on their intentions. It helps to remove the barriers that stand in the way. The aim is for positive behaviors to become the easy, natural behaviors. Social and behavior change, or SBC, did not just appear overnight. It has grown over many years. Its roots go back into several different fields of study. Think about public health campaigns from the past. Think about how communication has been used to share ideas. Early efforts often focused mainly on giving out information. The belief was that if people knew better, they would automatically do better. So posters and leaflets were very common tools used. Later on, people started to realize that just knowing facts was not enough. The field of psychology began to play a bigger role. Experts started asking, how do people really think? What are their emotions about certain actions? How do habits form, and why are they so hard to break? This shift helped everyone understand that human choices are complex. It was not just about logic. Feelings, habits, and what others thought started to be seen as very important influences. As time went on, SBC continued to grow and evolve. It started to see an even bigger picture. It became clear that change is not just about one single person acting alone. Society plays a huge part. The systems that are in place matter a lot. This includes things like laws, policies, and access to resources. SBC began to understand how all these different parts connect. They all work together to influence people's actions over a long period. So modern SBC is a rich mix of ideas. It uses learnings from communication. It draws from psychology and sociology. It considers anthropology, which studies cultures. It also learns from marketing and economics. This broad approach helps SBC to be more effective. It can tackle difficult problems by looking at them from many different angles. This helps create changes that are more likely to last and benefit everyone involved in the process. UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, is a global leader in using SBC. Their main mission is to protect the rights of every child. They work tirelessly all over the world. They want all children to be healthy, educated, and safe from harm. SBC is a very important tool that UNICEF uses to achieve these goals. It helps them work effectively with communities, families, and governments to create positive, child-focused changes that can last for generations. UNICEF applies SBC principles in many of its programs. For example, think about promoting vaccination for children. SBC helps understand why some parents might hesitate. It then helps design ways to build trust and make vaccines accessible. Another example is hand washing with soap. SBC strategies can help make this a regular habit in homes and schools. This simple action can save many lives. UNICEF also uses SBC to encourage girls' education and to stop harmful practices. Now, it's important to understand how SBC is different from BCC. BCC stands for Behavior Change Communication. BCC is a very important part of SBC, but it is not the whole story. BCC focuses on using communication to help people change. This includes things like messages on the radio. It can be community theatre shows with a health message. It can also be discussions with health workers. These are all communication tools. SBC, however, is a bigger umbrella. It definitely includes BCC and its communication strategies. But SBC goes further. It also looks at other things that affect behavior. Are the necessary services like clinics or schools available and of good quality? Are there policies or laws that support the change? What are the social norms, the unwritten rules in the community? SBC aims to change not just what people think or know, but also the environment and social systems around them for deeper impact. Social and behavior change is incredibly important. It holds the key to solving many big problems. These are problems that affect people all over the world. Think about the spread of diseases. Think about the struggles of poverty. Think about the unfairness of inequality. SBC offers a powerful way to tackle these challenges. It works by empowering people. It helps them make choices that can improve their own lives and the lives of those around them. When individuals and communities change their actions for the better, everyone benefits. The positive effects ripple outwards. For example, when more children are vaccinated, not only are they protected, but the whole community is safer from outbreaks. When families practice good hygiene, children get sick less often. This means they can go to school more regularly. Healthier communities are stronger communities. Fairer societies allow everyone to reach their full potential. This creates a cycle of positive development. So, why do people behave the way they do? This is a big question. Human behavior is very complex. It is rarely just about knowing what is the right thing to do. Many different factors influence our daily actions and decisions. Our habits, for instance, play a very large role. Things we learn to do as children or things we have done for a long time often continue without much active thought. These ingrained patterns can be very powerful. Our beliefs and values also guide our behavior. What we think is important, true or right, shapes our choices. Our emotions matter a great deal too. Fear, hope, or even just feeling tired can change how we act. What our friends, family, and colleagues do is another major influence. We often look to others for cues on how to behave. The rules and norms in our society, both written and unwritten, also strongly shape our actions. It's a rich mix of personal factors and outside influences. Section 5. Inside Our Choices. UNICEF's Behavior Driver Model. UNICEF uses a special tool to understand why people act the way they do. This tool is called the Behavior Driver Model. It's like a map. It helps UNICEF and its partners see what motivates people. It guides them in figuring out what makes people start new behaviors or stop old ones. By understanding these drivers, they can plan better ways to support positive and lasting changes in communities around the world. The Behavior Driver Model looks closely at three main areas. The first area is psychology. This is all about what goes on inside our minds. It includes our thoughts and our knowledge about something. It involves our attitudes, whether we feel positive or negative about a behavior. It also considers our self-belief. Do we think we can actually do it? Our habits, mental shortcuts, and even our unconscious biases are part of this psychological area of influence. The second area the model examines is sociology. This is about our social world. It looks at how other people influence us. What do our friends and family think and do? What are the common behaviors in our community or social group? This area includes social norms, those unwritten rules about what is acceptable. It also considers social support. Do we feel encouraged by others to make a change, or do we face pressure to stick with old ways? The third area is the environment. This means the world around us. It's about the context in which we live and make decisions. Are the necessary things like products or services easily available and affordable? Is it physically easy to do the desired behavior? Are there laws or rules that help or hinder the change? For example, if clean water is far away, it's hard to practice good hygiene. This model helps see all these connected pieces. Section 6, Our World, Our Actions, the Social Ecological Framework. The social ecological framework is another helpful way to understand behavior. It tells us that people's actions are not just decided by themselves alone. Instead, our behavior is shaped by many different layers. These layers are all around us, and they all interact with each other. Imagine a set of circles, one inside the other, like ripples in a pond. Each circle represents a different level of influence on how we behave. The very first layer, at the center, is the individual. This layer is about a person's own unique characteristics. It includes their knowledge about a specific behavior. It covers their personal attitudes and beliefs. For example, what do they think about breastfeeding or using a mosquito net? It also involves their skills. Do they know how to do the behavior correctly? Their age, gender, and education level can also play a role at this individual level. The next layer moving outwards is our relationships. This is often called the interpersonal layer. It includes our closest connections like family members, friends, and peers. These people have a strong influence on our choices and actions. They can offer support and encouragement for positive changes, or sometimes they might create pressure to continue with less healthy behaviors. What these important people in our lives say and do matters a great deal to us. Then comes the community layer. This includes the settings where we live our daily lives. Think about schools, workplaces, and local neighborhoods. It also covers community organizations and local leaders. Social norms within the community, what is generally seen as typical or acceptable behavior, are very powerful here. The final outermost layer is society. This involves big-picture factors like government policies, laws, cultural values, and economic conditions that affect everyone. This framework helps us see the whole picture. Section 7, the path to progress. Key steps in SBC. Making social and behavior change happen successfully involves a series of clear steps. It is a thoughtful and systematic process. It needs careful planning and a deep understanding of the situation. The very first step is always to understand the current situation thoroughly. What is the specific problem we are trying to address? Who exactly is affected by this issue? This initial phase involves a lot of research, listening to people, and gathering information. Next, after understanding the problem, we need to learn about the people involved. Why do they currently behave the way they do? What are the things that might help them change their actions for the better? What are the main barriers or difficulties that make change hard for them? This means talking directly to people, perhaps in small groups or interviews. We need to understand their perspectives, their beliefs, and their daily realities. Tools like the behavior driver model are very useful here. Once we have a good understanding, the next step is to design a strategy. This is the plan of action. What specific activities will help people change? What kinds of messages will be most effective and resonate with the community? Who are the key people or groups that need to be involved to make the strategy work? The plan should carefully address the different drivers of behavior that were identified earlier. It should be tailored to the local context, not a generic solution. Finally, after the strategy is designed, it is time to put it into action. This is the implementation phase. We start sharing the messages through various channels. We support communities in making the desired changes. We might work with local leaders, health workers, or teachers. And a very important part of this step is to check how things are going. This is called monitoring. Are things changing as we hoped? What parts of the strategy are working well? What needs to be adjusted or improved? Section 8, Making Change Real. An SBC strategy example. Let's imagine a real-life situation to see how an SBC strategy works. Suppose we want to encourage more families in a particular village to use treated mosquito nets every night. Sleeping under these nets can prevent malaria, a serious disease. An SBC strategy would not just start by giving out nets. It would first try to understand why some families are not using them, even if they have them. This is a crucial first step. The research might find several reasons. Perhaps some people believe the nets are too hot to sleep under. Maybe they don't know how to hang them properly or wash them safely. Some might have heard incorrect rumors that the treatment on the nets is harmful. Others might simply forget, or the children might not like them. The SBC strategy would then be designed to address these specific identified reasons. It would not just be a simple campaign of posters saying, "Use your net." So the strategy might include several different activities. It could involve training local health workers or volunteers. These trusted people can then visit homes. They can show families how to hang the nets correctly. They can talk about the benefits in a friendly way and answer any questions or concerns. The strategy might also involve respected community leaders. These leaders could speak publicly about the importance of using nets. They could share their own positive experiences. Furthermore, the strategy could use local radio programs to share correct information and success stories. It might organize community events where people can learn and discuss. Perhaps there could be a system to remind families or to make it easier to get new nets when old ones wear out. The key is that the strategy uses multiple approaches. It works at different levels: individual, family, and community, to make using nets the easy, normal, and valued thing to do. Section 9. Staying on track. Monitoring and improving SBC strategies. Monitoring an SBC strategy is like checking your direction when you are on a journey. It means carefully watching how things are going. Are we actually reaching the goals we set out to achieve? Are people in the community starting to change their behaviors in positive ways? It is like keeping score in a game. We need to know if our plan is working effectively or if we need to make some adjustments along the way. This is essential for success. To monitor well, we need to collect information regularly. There are many ways to do this. We can conduct surveys to ask people about their knowledge, attitudes, and practices. We can organize focus group discussions. This is where small groups of people share their thoughts and experiences. We can also simply observe what is happening in the community. This data helps us see which parts of our SBC strategy are strong and effective. It also clearly shows us which parts might be weak or not working as expected. If the information we collect shows that things are not working as well as we hoped, we then need to redesign. This does not mean failure. It means we are learning. We carefully look at all the data we gathered during monitoring. We try to understand exactly why things are not changing as much as we wanted. Maybe our messages were not clear enough. Perhaps we misunderstood a key belief. Or maybe there was an important barrier to change that we did not identify earlier. Based on this new understanding, we then make changes to our strategy. We might try new messages or new ways of sharing them. We might involve different people or groups. We could adjust our activities to better suit the community's needs. SBC is not a plan that is set in stone. It is a dynamic and flexible learning process. We continuously check our progress. We keep learning from what we see, and we keep improving our approach until we see the positive, lasting changes we are working towards.